First of all, I want to thank you, Doug, for reaching out. I'll continue. I'll continue to make these for whoever. I appreciate you reaching out to me. It meant a lot to me. I'll for all intents and purposes, I was done, really. But my man Doug reached out to me, and so I'll keep going. You know, even if it's just for you, man. I appreciate that. I've been sitting at this place since today's Thursday night, and it's probably gonna be tomorrow morning before I get loaded. I've been sitting here since Tuesday afternoon. We had a blizzard here the other day. The snow has done come, stayed, and melted, and I'm still sitting here. I just gave my dispatcher. I walked in that office and just politely, you gotta pick your battles doing this. I mean, there's an old saying about being able to do something with honey better than vinegar. I forgot exactly how that saying goes, but I still have to pick. At the end of the day, I still have to do this load. Okay, so it's not gonna do me. All these guys that talk about how they, oh, I went in there and I, whatever. You missed me with all that crap, dude. Now I'm just about to the point that I'm about ready. It's the first time they've really done this to me here since I've been working here. And my dispatcher, I mean, he's kind of acting indifferent about it because he ain't the one sitting here. Now, if he was sitting here, it'd be a whole lot different. That's why I say. That's why I always say, it's all good it's all good when you're not the one going through or something being done to you. That's a tanker truck. I'm trying to see what that is. That's probably some kind of animal fat or something. I don't know what that is. Anyway. But I know they're gonna make me do this load. Alright. So it's not gonna do me any good to go in there and get all belligerent with them. I got my point across, but I did it in I guess you could call it a diplomatic way. I let them know that I'm not happy sitting here, but at the same time, I know if I go in there and get all bent out of shape and start ranting and raving and how this and how that, and I don't, they either gonna make me leave and ban me from coming here. But this is my Arizona load, okay? And I don't want that to happen. You gotta look at the big picture, and that's one of the things I'm gonna talk about on this. I'm gonna talk about a couple things on this because I'm just sitting here. There's a couple of health issues. You want to take care of yourself on this road. All right. I've been driving these trucks for 25 plus years. All right. When last year, actually about two or 3 years ago, I started having a lot of back pain. Okay. And it ended up being something that was outside of my control. It was outside of anything anybody foresaw. That's what it ended up being. All right. So, but what I thought and what others thought was I was having compression issues in my lower back, and that's very common for truck drivers, especially if you've been driving for 20 years or better. You drive down this road, and this road, it's just like a jackhammer to your back. Okay. I used to do flatbed. I did flatbed for a long time, and I was real bad about jumping off the trailer. I'd jump off the trailer, and it was just tearing my knees up. You know, I was younger. I could jump up and down real high. You know, I used to grab the side of the rub rail and leap up, and I would kind of pull myself, and I could leap up onto the trailer like that. I couldn't think about doing that now. just to clarify. But jumping on off that trailer is bad for your knees. You only get one set of knees. You only get one hip until you have to start with hip replacement. I actually thought I was going to have a hip replacement with the pain I was having last year. My doctor even said about hip replacement. But what I'm talking about is your joints, your knees, your hip, your back, your spine. You've got these little spongy, what they call discs. Have you ever heard about a slit disc or a pinched disc or a bulging disc? That's that little spongy. You got the bony part of your spinal column. The spinal column protects the spinal cord. Okay, the spinal cord is like a soft. Everybody knows what the spinal cord is, but the column is the bony part around it. That's the spinal column. All right. The column has those big bone plate-looking things, and then in between each one are these spongy, like meniscus type cartilage. What it is. All right. When you drive down the road in these trucks, and this is common for a lot of truck drivers, you get pounded on. It's just like a jackhammer to your spine. All right. Well, over time, you do it long enough, you start having what they call compression issues. All right. That's what I thought. That's what my primary doctor. That's what she thought, and she sent me to a specialist, and that's when we ended up finding what it really was. I had a tumor. I had about a 6-inch tumor that was inside my spinal cord itself, and I touched on that in another video. I had to have a very specialized, delicate surgery. It was about a 10-hour surgery, and you know they had to cut my spinal cord open and take this tumor out of my spinal cord. Okay, but I had severe back pain, and I just dealt with it. But what I'm getting at, you want to take care of your joints, okay? Spinal, like compression stuff. If you've been driving for a month or for 30 years, all right, you need to take care of your spine. You need to take care of your knees. You need to take care of your joints, all right? Gout. It's another thing. I had gout last week, and I'm still letting it. I mean, the pain is gone, but it's still got that stiffness in there. I'm just trying to get that out before I can do some other stuff. All right. But your joints can really debilitate you big time. All right. With your spine or your back, that's how you get these bulging discs. You have compression. A lot of these guys pick up all this stuff. They're trying to be, big tough guys, and you see these guys picking up engine blocks and doing all this stuff when they can just go get a forklift and pick it up. Oh, I got this. Yeah, well, you ain't doing nothing, but your back's gonna pay for it in the end. Your joints are gonna pay for it in the end. When you get to be older, and there's guys that are younger than me that's got major disc problems in their back. But you want to get out. They got these inversion tables. This I forgot what it's called. It's all it is an inversion table. And I'm not in any way affiliated with none of these people. I'm just telling you what worked for me. I was going to a chiropractor, and I had an inversion table, and I forgot what they call it. I think it's called a teeter totter. But you get on this thing, it's got a little pillow on one end, and you get on it, and you start out at an angle, and you just kind of work your way until you're almost upside down. And I'm telling you, it works. Because when I first got that thing, I was having major compression issues in my back. What I thought were compression issues. It was actually the beginning of my tumor. I just didn't know. But it did help. Because when you use that inversion table, it uses gravity to basically decompress your spine. Okay, which relieves the pain. And I forgot that guy's name, but I mean, those things work. Not jumping on off flatbed trailers like I used to do. I'm just telling you from experience. I'm telling you from experience. I'm not telling you a theory or it could happen. I'm telling you from experience, this will happen to you. Jumping up, doing all this jumping, all this pounding on your body, it affects your body. I mean, your body takes that shock, and you know, it's just like it's physics. When a certain force hits your body, if you jump off a trailer, well, that force has got to go somewhere. You know, it goes either into your knees, or your knees and your back, or whatever. And over time, it just you keep doing that to your body. Your body's gonna pay for it. I go get massages whenever I can. Whenever I go home, I get a massage. And I don't mean I'm not talking about a massage parlor with a happy ending. I'm not talking what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an actual therapeutic, somebody that's licensed massage. Somebody not a rub down, and not necessarily a deep tissue, because deep tissue massages are torture. I don't care what anybody tells you, they're torture. The girl that does mine, she does it. It's not. It's like right up to the point of a deep tissue, but it's not a rub down. She actually gets in there and works the muscles and gets all the stuff out of my muscles. So that's what I'm talking about. Going to your doctor. If you don't have a regular doctor, or like a primary doctor, find one. Stay on top of your diet. And I'm preaching to the choir here now. I'm not saying this like I'm some know-it-all. I'm just telling you from experience. I'm just telling you from experience, from my own mistakes. So, get you a good doctor that'll stay on top of you, and will keep you in line. And that way they check your where they check your blood. This is the next thing I'm gonna talk about. Make sure they're checking your cholesterol, and make sure they're checking out your uric acid levels in your blood. My doctor does that every time I go. Now she has me. I talk to a nurse. Most people go about once every 6 months. She's got me coming back about every 3 months. And I asked somebody, why am I coming back so quick? And it's mainly because of that surgery I had 2 surgeries last year. I had one on my back and I had one on my wrist. They had to cut out a bone spur in my wrist and a couple other things. They had to dig out a bunch of gout that was in my hand and wrist too. But that's what I'm talking about. That uric acid, that is what contributes to gout and kidney stones. And all gout is from your diet. And what it is, it's kind of complicated, but what it is, your body, some people's dietary system or digestive system, it won't break down what they call purines. All right, purines are found in animal food, like a lot of meat, alligator, mainly animal seafood a lot too. Animal meat, alligator meat's got a lot of purines in it. Shrimp, and this is from experience. Alligator meat, shrimp, salmon, especially wild caught salmon, it's got a lot of purines in it. Asparagus, it's got a lot of purines in it. You cannot get away from purines, okay? But what you can do, now I just found this out, but what happens is when you eat these foods, deer meat does not have a lot of purines in it, okay? Because I think it's from, like, alligators are a top predator. They eat anything. A deer, all they do is eat berries and leaves, and all they do is run around. So they're just very lean. But they don't have a lot of purines in it. Deer meat is actually very healthy for you. But find you a doctor that will check your blood, and they look for your uric acid levels, okay? Because that uric acid, I have to take this medication now to keep my uric acid levels in check. All right, because I had that gout. The first time I had a gout flare up in about, it's been a long time. It's been close to 10 years before I even had an attack like that. That medicine she gave me is basically the gout killer. It's a wonder drug. It's expensive, but it's worth it. The amount of pain that you're in, and the mobility and everything else, I mean, it's just, you can't describe the pain. It hurts bad. So you get your uric acid checked out, your uric acid levels checked out. You want that levels to be, I think it's between 4 and 6. It's either 4 and 6 or 4 and 8. It's one of the two. Mine's like almost 14. Okay, and that's what I was talking about in one of my last videos. That my blood is like what she was talking about, like a forest is dried out, and somebody is just waiting for that spark to just light up. And when I ate the alligator meat, that was the spark. Just like a dried forest, like out west, they have these huge wildfires in the summertime. Somebody rides by and throws out a cigarette or throws out a match or whatever, and it just lights this whole thing. And it's just big deal. All the problems are there. It's just waiting for that one little thing to light it off. Well, that alligator meat did it for me. Shrimp does it. Alligator meat does it. Salmon does it. Asparagus does it. Those are the ones that do it, that will trigger me quicker than anything. I can eat red meat and it don't really affect you. Some people can't eat red meat. It just affects different people in different ways. But you gotta maintain your diet. Duck, chicken, deer meat, those types of things are low in purine. So, and you want to drink a lot of water too. But that, you want to stay on top. What I'm trying to get at is maintaining your health. Sitting in these seats. That's the other thing I want to do. Sitting in these seats, in these driver seats. I know some people, they want to look cool. Now, I used to drive a long nose Peterbilt a long time ago. You know, and back in the day, you know, when you drove a long nose Peterbilt, you had to look cool. That was just part of it. So you had to have the seat all the way on the floor. That was just a requirement. You know, all just riding with the air up in and about. No, that ain't how you drive a Peterbilt. Long nose Peterbilt, no sir. You don't do that. You drive with the seat all the way to the floor, and you got your arm way up here. You know, you got your arm way up here on your gear shifter, and you looking cool. You know, got your arm up on the steering wheel. You know, and it's all about looking cool. You know, well, how cool did I look last year when I thought my back was compressed? Because I've been riding all these years for you know, like a jacket. Because I mean, when you have no air in your seat, it's you just your back is taking. Excuse me. Your back is taking all the pounding on this road. You hit these potholes. That's why they put these air in these seats. So it will absorb some of the shock from the road. When you got your seat all the way down, and I have to have mine pretty low because I'm short. Okay, so I take a lot more pounding than I should, but that's just the nature. That's just how it is. But you want to have your seat more vertical, not lean back where you're looking all laid back, looking cool and everything. You know, you wanna. I've seen guys do that. You want to have your seat up against your lower back. You want to have. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can show y'all. Well, I tried. It's not enough lighting in here to show you. But basically, let's just say that this is your seat. Okay. The bottom of my hand is where the arch of your back is going to go. Okay. You want to have the arch of your back, your lower back, your butt. You want to have all that touching the seat part and the back part. Okay. You don't want to have it leaning forward. You don't want to have it leaning backward. You want to have it leaning where your back is supported all the way up and down, even to your head. That's why they make these seats high. Some are a little bit lower, but that's why they make them up high. You want to have your back all up in that seat. That way, when you hit and wear your seatbelt. All right. When you hit these potholes, it will. You hit these bad roads or whatever. It'll support your back better than trying to riding with the seat all back and trying to look cool and all that. You want to have everything supported. Like my hand pressed up against my chest right here. All right, and that's how you want to do. I'm telling you from experience. I've been doing this a long time, and I just I didn't care. I drove around and I just wanted, I was driving in these cool looking trucks back when I first started driving, and I just wanted to talk trash on the CB and ride down the road and look cool. That's all I want to do. Well, it's all good until you start having problems. So just be mindful of you only get one back. You can't replace your spine. You can't replace your spinal column. They can operate on it and get the ball, because that's what compression is. You get these discs, they squeeze. It's just like a shock absorber. It goes up and down, and every time you do it, just imagine driving down the road for 20 years. It's just taking all this pounding. All right. Well, them little discs in between the bony part, it's taking all that shock, and that's where you get compression in your spinal column because of that. And that's where you get bulging disc, because it compresses down on that, and then you get the cartilage. It bulges out, and it's very, very painful. I mean, it's very, very painful. Fortunately, I didn't have that. I've got some compression issues in my back, but it was not to the point that I needed surgery. The tumor that was in my spinal cord, which is very rare. I had a very rare thing that happened to me last year. I'm very fortunate. To be alive. But I just wanted, that's really all I want to talk about on this. Just about your how you sit in these seats, your posture, taking care of your back, taking care of your joints. Get your uric acid level checked at your doctor. The only way you can check that is by checking your blood. Okay, and they do these tests on it. They take it to the lab and they send it off. They check it for all kind of stuff. But your uric acid, make sure you tell them you want your uric acid checked out, because you don't want that sneaking up on you. And that's just where your body will, your digestive system, it won't break down certain enzymes in like high purine food, alligator meat, shrimp, stuff like that, salmon, wild caught salmon especially, and it don't break down those enzymes. So when it don't break it down, what it does is it turns to uric acid. It's going to turn to uric acid anyway, but your digestive system don't break it down all the way. So where it normally would break it down and be at say a 4 or 6 level, well, like with me, mine is not breaking it down, and that's why my uric acid is 14. You know, now I'm having to take medication to go in there. It's like water it's like trying to put out a fire. You know, after it's like a raging inferno, basically. So, but I gotta watch what I eat. I've been watching what I eat, but I gotta watch it even more now. Anyway, just be mindful of your joints, of your back, your blood. All that stuff matters. And I want to thank you, Doug. I really do appreciate you reaching out to me. I really was done, you know. But if I don't do it, if all I do it is just for you, and you get something out of this, that's fine. That's good enough for me. You know, I appreciate you reaching out to me. And sorry, I don't have too much any more than that. I just thought I'd talk about it. It was just something that occurred to me while I was sitting here to talk about that. So it's gonna be another probably 8 hours before I get loaded, and we'll just see how that works out. Because I gotta be in Phoenix Saturday morning at 6 a.m. and it's gonna be. They just told me around 3 a.m. Friday morning before they get me loaded. And I just told my dispatcher off. And he's like, well, you know, that Arizona load's the last one to get. I mean, he missed me with all that, man. You know. I said, yeah, it makes perfect sense. They'll take one of the longest loads that load up out of here and have that load last. Makes perfect sense, man. You know. So, anyway. But I've been doing this too long. You can't come at me like that, man. I see it come from a mile away. So anyway, I appreciate y'all. Whoever sees this, take care of your body. Watch your diet. Look for purines. Just Google it. Google foods that are high in purines and adjust your diet accordingly. Have your blood checked out for purines and uric acid levels in your blood. Check it. Make sure if you're postured driving these trucks, get out, walk around. Get out and do your exercise. Walk around, you know, get in and out of the truck. There's all kinds of things you can do. Okay? And whatever, don't try not to have high impact movements on your body. Jumping off trailers, especially. I was bad about it. And anyway, I hope this helps out. I hope y'all we'll get this thing loaded and start heading to Arizona. I'll film from there. I didn't film the other day because there was a bunch of snow on the ground. I had some snow pictures and stuff, but I had deleted all of what I was gonna make for another video. I had already deleted all of it because I was done with all this. But my man Doug reached out to me, so I'll keep going forward. Appreciate you, man. Y'all take care of yourselves, and peace. We'll see you next time. Y'all be good.